Welcome back to Clark's Ring Rants. Let's get straight into today's video. And we've got some breaking news coming out of the heavyweight division, and that is regarding WBO Heavyweight World Champion Fabio Wardley and who he may make the first defence of his world title against in the upcoming months. Now, in a recent video that I'll leave a link to in the description, we discussed Fabio Wardley's position as world champion, who he may look to face, who I'd like to see him face, and what options are realistic at this moment in time as a first voluntary defence of his title. Now, we touted about names like Moses Itauma, Filip Hrgovic, Daniel Dubois, Dereck Chisora, and had a little bit of a wild card in there in Nelson Haisa and Richard Riakporhe. And it's come out today that none other than Dereck Chisora appears to be the front runner to get that fight with Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley was quoted as saying the following: "The fight with Chisora out of the list of names seems probably most realistic and currently at the forefront." That was when he spoke to the Ring magazine. Now, the Dereck Chisora fight is not a fight I'd particularly like to see. I get it, it's sellable, it's an all British fight, Chisora will sell the fight, he'll talk a good game, but he's someone at 42 years of age. He's seen much better days. He's coming towards the end. Granted, he has put together some decent-ish wins, I guess, in the last couple of years, but I don't really rate it as an opponent for Fabio at this stage. I get he's coming off the back of two tough fights and he has earned that WBO belt the hard way, but I feel like we could do better than Chisora. How much of a challenge will Chisora present to Wardley at this stage? I mean, obviously he's got a better boxing background, but I just feel the power, the youth, the speed, the size would be too much for Chisora in this fight, and I'd have much liked to see Fabio Wardley take on some other names from this top 15. Now, I have to reiterate, like I just said, I get it, the Chisora fight, it's easy, he's British, he'll sell it, they can fill out the O2, or even take it back to Portman Road. It's a good first defence, but it's not what I would have hoped for Fabio. I get why Queensbury would want to make it really easy, but come on, guys. I think we can do better than this fight. If we take a look at the rankings here, like I mentioned, we've got Moses Itauma sitting at number 1, but Fabio Wardley's also come out today and said that fight's impossible, it's not going to happen. And I touched on that in a recent video as well. They're with the same trainer. I don't understand how that setup works. The two heavyweights, they're, what are they both? Top 10 heavyweight? Yeah, probably say we'll go top 10, 15 heavyweights at the moment. They're both vying for world titles. How on earth can they be trained by the same trainer? So I think a fight between Itauma and Wardley is inevitable. It's going to happen at some stage. And what's going to happen is one of them is going to have to leave Ben Davison. Personally, I think that will be Fabio Wardley. But that's a bridge that both teams are going to have to cross when they get to it. That fight's going to have to happen. Something's got to give. Someone's leaving Ben Davison. That fight needs to happen. We can't have two of the best, most exciting heavyweights in the world avoiding, well, they're not necessarily avoiding each other, but not willing to fight because they're part of the same training setup. That's ridiculous, really. It's not as if they're brothers. It's not like they're the Klitschko's or the Charlos or the Edwards brothers, even though they did want to fight at one point. They need to go their separate ways, and I'd love to get that fight at some stage. Then we've got other names. Filip Hrgovic, I think that'd be a good first opponent. He's durable. He's coming off the back of two solid wins, I guess, against Joyce and David Adelaide. He'd be a good opponent. Daniel Dubois, I really like that fight. It's been talked about before, but seems to be that Dubois may fight Zhang, and that's interesting. That could be a ranking match. Zhilei Zhang's ranked 3rd, Daniel Dubois is ranked 4th. So again, they're both ranked higher than Dereck Chisora, and I think they'd both be more interesting fights. I don't really have much interest in this Dereck Chisora versus Fabio Wardley fight. Will I still watch it? Yes, of course I'll still watch it. But I just think there's more viable challenges out there than Dereck Chisora at this stage. Even if we drop down the list, we've got F.A. Ajagba. He's in there at number 13. I think that's a better opponent at this moment in time. Richard Torres is highly ranked, but he looks like he's going to go and fight Frank Sanchez. So it looks like Dereck Chisora will be the next opponent for Fabio Wardley. 42 years old, he's lost 5 fights since 2017, interestingly enough, since he lost to Cabello. Cabello is unbeaten since then, he's on a knockout streak, and he seems to be no closer to a world title fight. So again, politics as usual in boxing. Fighters not getting the fights they deserve, and maybe a hint of fighters getting fights they don't necessarily deserve. But let me know, what do you think? Chisora versus Wardley? Meh. First defence, I suppose we can accept it, but we can always be asking the question why we're not getting certain fights instead. That's all for today's video. Let me know what you think. Do you think Fabio Wardley should be fighting the likes of Chisora, or do you think he should be setting his sights higher for his first defence of his title? Let me know. Please be sure to comment your thoughts, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.